Hello and welcome back to Access Granted, the podcast by Ingenia. Today we're going to be talking all about security measures with cards, and today I'm joined by our CEO Sven Baker, who has nearly 2 decades of experience with the company, producing RFID products, identity products, and all kinds of plastic cards. Sven, why don't you introduce yourself and we can get into the topic.
Yeah, hello Sam, great to be here. And as you say, I've had a lot of experience at Ingenia over quite a few years and seen the business and the market shape and evolve. And at the core, we are an identity credentials manufacturer.
Yeah.
What do you understand by that?
Well, we basically dabble in everything that tells you who a person is. So this could be your office ID, this could be your driver's license, this could be your national identity card, and then even broader than that, you know, it could be your gym pass. It's surprising just how much information somebody would be able to get out of something that you're using on a daily basis. Like if your apartment building, for example, has an RFID pass to access the front door, that in itself can be considered an identity.
Yeah, you put it pretty well. Hardly does a week go past without somebody saying, what do you actually do?
Yeah.
We produce plastic cards, we produce key fobs, we produce anything which is a form factor that carries ID.
Right.
And so that means we put chips inside things, we encode chips to work with systems, and it's quite a hidden market, really. It's something which a lot of people don't even think about. Yeah,
no, it's very easy to forget, like, you know, the gym pass that's sitting in your wallet. You know, you don't think about it, but it's there and it's accessible, because if it's RFID, then that's a signal that somebody could potentially, clone, piggyback, whatever.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So what Ingenia does is produce hundreds of millions of credentials per year, whether it be a physical card, a physical wristband, a key fob, or even a digital pass nowadays, which goes into the NFC wallet of the smartphone.
Yeah.
And so what we do is we support all kinds of verticals, all kinds of applications of need.
Yep.
Anything from a driving license to a gift card to a door access card to a transportation pass. You name it.
Yeah.
Whatever's inside your wallet, whatever's on your keys, whatever's on your wrist.
We have a hand in it.
That's what we have a hand in.
Yeah, absolutely. So today, Sven, the big topic is obviously security with RFID. It's something that a lot of people have been thinking about more and more these days. But when we're talking about that, we're really relating it to anti-fraud. You know, we're thinking of ways to protect our end customers and the customers of our clients, that essentially in ways that they maybe don't think about, I suppose. So can you maybe tell us a couple of things about like those protections, what goes into them, and then we can obviously expand on what to look out for and what to be wary of?
Yeah, certainly. So often people say, what do you do? And often I find it really easiest to explain to somebody what we do by saying, imagine your wallet, imagine what's inside your wallet right now, or on your keys,
right,
or maybe even on your wrist. Plastic cards are the de facto identification device.
Yeah.
Key fobs are also an identification device. Wristbands as well. Anything that contains a chip and allows you to associate with a reader.
Yeah, this is it. We're talking about data at this point, basically. We're talking about the stuff that you carry with you that you don't think about, that contains personal information that you wouldn't want somebody else to have.
That's right, yeah. So a card is identifying you against a reader. So is a key fob. So is a wristband. So is an NFC digital card inside the Google or Apple Pay wallet of your phone.
Exactly.
It's identifying you against a reader to do what it needs to do. So it might be letting you through a door, letting you through a turnstile, or allowing you to pay.
Right.
And so that's why your identity and your money is at risk.
Yeah, and I think that's one of those things that, like, maybe as a user of these kind of products, you almost shouldn't have to think about. it should be a given that the data and the information that you're carrying around is safe to an extent.
Yeah, that's right, Sam.
Okay, so we're obviously talking about preventable measures when we talk about these use cases, but at the same time, there is, of course, real-world examples where people can take advantage of these exploits, referring back to things like the Flipper Zero here. So if we're talking about cloning credentials, we've obviously developed a product in the past to guard against this. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the ScanJam and what it's designed to do?
It's called the ScanJam contactless porcupine. So what happens is, the way that it works is it is another plastic card.
Yeah.
So you can put that plastic card into your wallet alongside your bank cards.
Exactly.
And it keeps your bank card safe. Pretty cool.
Oh yeah, very cool piece of kit, and it's definitely one of those things that it means that you can go back to not thinking about it.
Yeah, that's right. You don't need to worry about getting an RFID protecting wallet. You can just slide this into your wallet alongside your bank cards. And the way that it works is that when the hacking signal comes in, it receives it first.
Yeah.
And bounces it back.
Yeah.
Effectively destroys it.
Yeah.
And we made it available on its own website. This was quite a while ago, and I think we should really promote this product again.
I think with security being at the forefront of people's minds, it's definitely something that more and more people could benefit from.
Yeah. So actually, Ingenia commissioned some actors and a film crew. We headed off to Covent Garden in London and filmed a staged version of events.
Yes.
It was great fun.
But despite it being staged, it very much illustrates how easy it is to, clone these signals, because we equipped the actors with the necessary kit.
Yeah, that's right, we did. So why don't we let the video do the talking?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's roll that, and then we can sort of dissect what we see going on there.
Your money and personal details are now totally unsafe. Do your bank cards or passport show these symbols? If they do, your personal data, transaction history, and money can be stolen by e-pickpockets from as far away as 10 meters. Don't think it won't happen to you. Without protection, it probably will. Equipped with just a reader and a publicly available app, these new generation criminals are operating everywhere. Contactless makes life easy, but is the unsafe cat flap to your personal data and money. Just look at these live statistics. Right now, contactless payments are taking place in public. Mysterious purchases are appearing on people's bank statements. Personal identity information is being stolen and sold to criminal organizations. Don't be a victim. The ScanJam contactless porcupine card is the simple and affordable solution. Contained within this slim plastic card is incredible patented smart chip e-shield technology. When placed in your wallet, the ScanJam contactless porcupine is on guard 24/7. When threatened, the porcupine instantly raises its quills, throwing a protective shield right around your wallet and blocking any request for data. It's your pet for life. Don't change your lifestyle, just get the porcupine. Check up on your card by simply holding it against your bank card when carrying out a contactless transaction in a shop. The bank card will not be able to communicate with the terminal until your porcupine is taken away. Be smart. Get protected now for total peace of mind.
So that was an interesting video.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the clip goes into a lot of detail, of course. It's really trying to showcase the simplicity behind, the action of cloning a signal in that way. It can be quite sobering when you realize just how accessible this is to some people. But, of course, we're talking about solutions here. So why don't we sort of double back on a couple of the other ways that credentials can become more secure against these types of threats?
Yeah, so if we take two two use cases that we provide a lot of credentials into. The first one would be hotel door key cards. So you walk up to the front desk of a hotel and they've welcomed you. They've said, right, okay, Mr. So-and-so, you're going to room 302. And here are 3 cards to work with room 302.
But now that plastic card is the barrier to your safety, basically.
Yeah. And so they'll take an unencoded card with a blank chip inside it, and they'll hold it against their reader and encode it with the key for room 302. And do that with the other 2 as well. They'll give them to you and they'll say, here you go, room 302. Someone might actually be listening to that.
Yeah, very easily.
And so they might be tailing you. And then you go and relax in the spa, or you relax in the bar. And you're leaving your card next to you. Someone can come along and take that card, having heard your room number. And there's a very, very inexpensive device called a Flipper Zero available on the internet. Google it on eBay. You can buy one on eBay, you can buy one off their main site. And it's designed to clone a credential.
That's pretty nightmarish when you think about it. I mean, you know, it's almost too easy.
Yeah. Most hotel room key cards out there are using a 1K chip, which means a 1K memory chip from NXP, but quite often are using a clone version of that NXP chip, which is insecure. A lot of the hotel brands like Hilton and Marriott are outlawing the clone version. And there are other chips as well available from NXP, even like the Ultralight C, which are now considered insecure.
I see.
And so with this small Flipper Zero device, a fraudster is able to come up, take your card, hold it against their Flipper Zero device. It will save your key to the Flipper Zero device. They can then replace your card as though it had never been taken, so you'd never know. And then they would be able to take a blank card of their own and encode that key onto that blank card as many times as they wanted. They would then have a key to get into your room. This is fully possible and is going on. The person on the street, they need to know about this. They need to know about the danger of the Flipper Zero.
Awareness is, you know, half the solve here, surely. You know, the more people that are educated on this, the harder it will be for people to be able to perform these kind of acts.
So the lock manufacturers know about this, and they have their own path to doing away with this problem. Upgrading to the NXP Ultralight AES chip, for example.
That's huge,
It's happening globally, and Ingenia is supporting with this, manufacturing credentials using the Ultralight AES chip. But there's an awful lot of legacy readers out there which will still be exposed to this problem. Really, I think the message here is be alert when you're staying in a hotel. Regard your card as you would a physical key. It needs to be looked after.
Certainly.
Just be aware of the fact that there is a path to making sure we do away with this security risk, and hotels are actively upgrading their locks.
Very reassuring. So hotel key cards, obviously a big one that just about anyone can relate to. So second one up, of course, your bank card. You know, let's talk about that.
So a bank card now has to do with your money. A hotel door key card is really identifying you against a door. So it's more about access.
It's a physical thing.
A bank card has to do with your money. A bank card is held against a reader, a payment reader, and it associates you with that payment reader. So Sam Davis comes up to a payment reader in Boots, needs to pay for his meal deal, and holds his card near the reader. And in a contactless fashion, there's a signal being given out by the payment reader. It's being picked up by your bank card. It's traveling around the antenna to the chip. The chip is firing back an affirmatory signal, which is then picked up by the payment reader, and it associates Sam Davis with the system. Does what it needs to do, which is debit £3.99 from
Yeah.
your account. It's the same way that your car key works.
Right.
So a contactless car key, everybody's heard of the way that there is a vulnerability there now.
Yeah,
So
you hear about that all the time.
Exactly, yeah. Thieves can come up to your door in the dead of the night.
Mm-hmm.
They can have a repeater.
Yep.
So the repeater will pick up the signal which the car key is designed to give, amplify it, and bring it therefore close to your car, even though the key is not physically close to your car.
Right.
And that will mean that your car will then open and even start and drive off. It's a vulnerability, again, through contactless technology. So, first of all, put your car keys in an RFID protecting box or sleeve. And the same with your bank cards, just make sure your wallet has got that same technology to it.
Exactly.
Readily available off the internet.
Absolutely. So we've identified then the kinds of credentials. When we're talking about, let's say, the hotel key card, it's in danger from those potential fraudsters out there who could take some very easily accessible technology and, breach your personal security, basically.
Everybody's used a hotel door key card.
Absolutely.
Everybody has a bank card or more than one. This is how to keep them safe. This is what the market is doing to make them fraud proof in the future. Of course, Ingenia is taking identities digital as well.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And once the card is in your digital wallet, it is more secure than a physical credential. Maybe less convenient to use. But
yeah, I think people are used to the idea of using a digital counterpart, though.
That's right.
We're less worried about that at this stage. I think if we were having this conversation 5 years ago, I would agree very strongly that people would not be as receptive to it.
Yeah. What we've noticed is that the future of identity is a hybrid future.
Definitely.
We can see the need for physical credentials to remain present.
Of course. Yeah.
There are many use cases where a digital credential is not allowed due to the fact that smartphones are a breach of data security.
Exactly. Yeah.
And just that it's very important to have a physical credential that will work against a door or associate with a payment device when the lights go out, when your battery runs out, when you might leave your phone behind in the car,
certainly,
for example. And so the convenient identity landscape nowadays is to have a physical credential in your wallet or on your keys or on your wrist and a digital counterpart in your phone.
That's right.
That makes it very easy to use, as long as it's secure. And so what we're trying to do here is to shine a light on how you can remain more secure with your credentials and look after them properly and take appropriate measures.
Yeah, and I think, we've talked about it already, that public awareness is a massive part of that. As much as, we can talk about these built-in protections and everything, if people are just generally more careful around these products, then I think you have so much less to worry about.
Absolutely.
So yeah, obviously identity isn't always just going to be that driver's license, that ID card. It could be anything. It extends far beyond, and more your data is stored within other products that you don't tend to think about. For that reason, it can be copied, it can be stolen, and that's something that we need to guard against more and more. So, the next time that you do just simply tap your hotel key card to open that door, do you really know how secure it is? I mean, thank you very much for joining us on the podcast today, Sven. It's been great to have you and have your insights. Be sure, everybody, to follow us on LinkedIn and on YouTube to make sure that you're getting these updates when they come out. And thanks very much for tuning in.
Thanks, Sam. Great to be here.